Okay, typically I do not do this, but I have been a fan of Dragon Ball Z, well, the Dragon Ball series in general for years. I'm 24, so I was really young when it first came out, but I've always been a fan. I've seen Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and all that good stuff. So I was watching episode 123 with this whole new power that Vegeta supposedly is receiving during the Tournament of Power fighting Jiren with Goku. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I've loved Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Super has been one of the most difficult series to watch. I have several complaints about the series as a whole. The power scaling just went straight through the window. It varies from each arc to each arc, and the plot and plot devices are just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, like anybody else, I enjoy the transformations for what they are, but I can't really seem to get on board with the series in terms of its storytelling aspects. It's not consistent, and a lot of the stuff that they're doing is just what some people will call as assballs, where people are getting these powers out of nowhere, or if they're getting them from somewhere, they're not really explaining where these powers are coming from. So it's not really making sense to us as the watchers, and you have people who are dedicated to the series and don't really mind not having the explanation on why certain things are happening in the series of Super, and it doesn't really make sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that Vegeta has his own little form, because he's always been chasing Goku for years. So it would make sense that he has his own powers and set of abilities, as well as now he has his own power. I'm totally for that, and it actually can help the plot going forward. But like I said, the Tournament of Power already is just a reach. Jiren is the biggest plot device I have seen in my entire life. Like, it's ridiculous. And I've seen online also some people were calling Jiren and his crew the plot troopers, which in a lot of aspects is very true, and I could not just accept a lot of the things that they're getting away with. Like, one thing that got me on this episode was when Jiren jumped right out from the ring off of a pebble, while anybody else who had fallen off of the ring a few feet would have been disappeared from the void immediately. But people who are not relevant to the story that they're trying to tell, they get a lot more leeway. Like, he was way down in that void, and all of a sudden he could just jump off a pebble. That doesn't make any sense. So, like I said, I enjoyed Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but this is just out of control.